I'm Wade from Thoroughbred Diesel, and today we're going to show you how to disassemble the mounting flange from a Duramax CP3 pump. Today what we're going to do is we're going to be showing you how to disassemble the mounting flange for a Duramax CP3 pump. Now, two different reasons why I want you to watch this video. Number one, if you're having problems just getting this job done, then I hope that this one's going to be able to help you. Second reason is this is your core. We're speaking in terms of if you've bought a CP3 from us, which we appreciate, and you're sending your core back. When you go to send your core back to us, we need your core back in its best condition as you can get it back to us in. Now, there should be no reason that you have to tear up anything on this CP3, getting the mounting flange off of it, so I'm going to show you how to do that today using tools that hopefully you've got around your shop. If you did a CP3 removal on a Chevrolet, you're going to know you're probably going to have all these tools pretty readily available to you. So the first thing we've got to do is we've got to get the gear off of the CP3 pump. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the pump upside down. I'm going to use a strap wrench here to hold my gear. This gear will turn the cam of the CP3 obviously. So I want to set my strap wrench up 29 or 27 metric on an impact gun. We try to overcome it with speed while we just barely have to hold it here with our strap wrench. So here we go. All right, that allows the nut to come off, so you will have a nut and a washer on this. So we'll go ahead and remove that. Now we're going to get our gear off of the CP3 pump. Now this is how I do it. I like to hold the gear with a strap wrench just like this, and then what I'll do, and it's a little bit overkill, but I'll go ahead and put my nut back on it just to make sure that I don't mar the threads of the CP3 pump up. But you want to make sure that you use a non-mar dead blow hammer to do this anyway, so you shouldn't be screwing the threads up, but just in case something were to happen, I'll do this. Now I just hold the pump gear and go ahead and start making contact with the CP3 cam, and got lucky on this one. The gear fell right off. If you guys have done a bunch of these, you're probably going to know it's going to take quite a few more whacks than that to get it. Now also remember your orientation going back with this on these. The more raised side of the gear goes back towards the pump when it's reassembled. All right, so now we're going after the flange. The mounting flange for the Duramaxes, this is an LB7 pump. The mounting flanges is held on by 3 bolts and standards. The bolts will have towers here. They are 12 metric, 13 metric, can't remember. I don't know what's wrong with me. Yeah, 12 metric. So we're going to go ahead and remove all 3 of those. And what I do is I'll just loosen them up before I hit them with the pack gun. And go ahead and start removing my bolts, and you'll see that they've got just a spacer that's on them there. While you're working on a CP3 pump, you also want to be aware of the FCA. Don't mess your FCA up. Most remanufacturers do not reuse the FCA, but it just depends on what the condition of the FCA is, and if it's a lower cost alternative FCA, they may get reconditioned. At any rate, just keep the FCA in its best condition as you can. All right, so now we've got our 3 mounting flanges off. What we do is then at that time is go ahead and look at the orientation of the mounting flange. I know that this mounting flange, the top side of the pump, which is going to correspond with where the feed lines are on this, there is a raised part of that flange there, so I remember that goes up. All right, so now getting this flange off of here can be difficult sometimes. Little trick to that is to use your mounting bolts back. I take the spacers off the mounting bolts, and what I just use is any washer I've got laying around the shop, anywhere, anything I can get underneath there. And what I'm doing is I'll take the washer and I will put it between the mounting flange and the CP3 pump surface, and what this does is this keeps my bolt from marring up that surface. So I'll take a bolt and I'll just go ahead and run it down in there. And then I like to go to the other side of the CP3 pump. There'll be a gap here. between these two surfaces. What I do is I take a couple of washers in and I stack them on top of each other, and I'll go ahead and run my bolt down just like so, until it makes contact with my washers and it's not scooting the washers out. And I'm going to use that as my platform here. So I don't use this as an impact gun. I'm going to just use this to put pressure against these bolts, start tightening the bolts down. And what this does is this is going to lift the mounting flange off safely without marring anything up. Double stack of washers is always tricky on that, especially if the washers are nice and rounded on top. They really like to jump around anything there. Little piece of steel, whatever you do, all you're doing is trying to keep the bolt from marring up the surface there. So I will alternate between the two bolts, and what that is going to do is that is going to just push my mounting flange right off of the snout of the pump. Remember to alternate between the two. Once I get it so far, I can usually work it off with your hand. All right, and there is our mounting flange off. You can see we've got a good clean surface of the CP3 here. We have not marred anything up. It's good to go and ready to be remanufactured and put on to another truck. So this has been how to remove the mounting flange on a Duramax CP3. If you have a question on this installation or any of our other videos, please give us a call, like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching.